Morning everybody, how's it going? Just took a quick run to the city and now it's time for some saw work. It's gonna be in the hundreds again today. I don't know what the deal is, but I'll take it because in a couple weeks it's gonna start doing this and then we will slowly meander into fall and then winter. So still not cutting here. It's still been dry. We had a couple days of rain, but it's still dry as a bone here. Anyhow, I'm going to get going on this Echo CS590. We're going to do some porting on it today. I'm going to start by opening up the transfers and then I'm going to raise the exhaust roof. Like I said, I'm not doing anything to the intake on this saw. I'm going to rough it up a little here and there, but I'm happy with the intake timing on this saw. I don't want to push it too far, so we're going to leave it. It's at 79. I have re-zeroed my timing wheel, reconfirmed my timing numbers because it's been about a week since we timed this saw, and I'm happy. Everything is exactly where it should be. So without further ado, I'm going to take this top end off. We're going to start porting the transfers. I'll show you guys my ideas with this saw and what I'm going to do to it. Just let me get set up here. I'll take the top end off and we'll get this party started. Okay friends, I want to just get a reference for, so let me put the light on here for you, there you go. I want to get a reference for my exhaust roof height. There's your exhaust port there. So what I do is, I'm going to take this ring, okay, ring out of the saw, I'm going to put it in there. You guys have seen this before. Push it down into the bore. I got fumbly fingers today. Can you hear those crickets? Could you not hear them? The crickets and grasshoppers have just been brutal this year. They'll be gone soon. Okay, there you guys go. Put that in there. I got the piston at bottom dead center. Okay, slide it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the motor backwards. Okay, till I hit 104 after top dead center. Ready? Okay, now put it back here. See the height? That's quite a bit. That's how much we're thinking about raising this. Now remember, when you raise your exhaust, you also raise your transfers. You get more blowdown. Okay? Now, since a lot of you guys are following along, these transfers I checked, they line up nicely with the case, okay? You see the case down in there, right here? Okay, they line up pretty much perfect. So, a fella doesn't really want to widen them or, okay? They fit almost perfect, okay? They're actually nice transfers. Now they're straight down. Notice how straight they are, similar to what we did on Buchan's 266. Okay, so there's what we're working with here. Again, we are not going to really do anything to this intake. We're going to match it with the intake boot, maybe rough it up a little bit, but all the work we're going to do, we're just going to do a little bit of transfer work. And I'll show you guys what I do in there and raise the exhaust roof and slap this thing back together. Okay, I got my Fordham here. I'm going to install a straight shanked or a straight cut burr, double cut. Don't know what brand this one is because it's just one of the ones I've had. Now you want to insert these long. That's why it's important to have quality tooling. You want to insert these long so that you can get into the exhaust port to reach. Okay, I'm going to start porting here. Let's get this party started. It's been a while. It's been so hot. I just haven't been doing it. Now, when you're first starting grinding, I've had a lot of you email me about chipped plating. Take very, very light passes so you don't chip your plating. If, I don't know if you guys can see that. If you're having problems with chipped plating, take a diamond burr like this. Okay, break the edge and go from there, okay? I'm trying to give you guys little tips, and then we'll really get rocking and rolling here. I don't know everything, but I just know the mistakes that I've made, and believe me, I've done it. Okay, we're about 15 minutes in. See my line there? There you go. Okay, we want to sneak up to the top of that line, okay? Because that's where the ring is. Now, once I get even slightly close, I will deburr, chamfer, and check my progress. Notice that exhaust roof is getting ground on either side. You want it to be symmetrical. Now, I like to do mine higher in the center. That's just how I like my exhaust roofs. I want maximum flow right when it opens up. Okay, let's keep going. I just want to show you guys. I'll check in with you as we go. Okay, friends, that's what we're dealing with down the mouth of the port, whatever you want to call it. Notice how it's nice and oval, it's highest in the middle. That's just how I like to do it. Other people do it other ways. Okay, I'm starting to blend it out, and I will finish by blending it. But I want to get my timing number first, and then, okay, and then I will start to blend it. We're almost where we need to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to grab the bottom end. I will sand this really, really well, okay, because you don't want to scratch your piston. This corner right now, this edge is sharp. I can feel it. Okay, I'm going to put a piece of sandpaper in there and break the edge just so that I can check my exhaust height with the timing wheel. Okay, this is just some, what is this, 200 grit. I'm just going to quickly break that edge. Okay, you'll be able to feel it. Run your finger across the edge of the port and you'll see. I usually just jam my finger into the port. See? I can feel the port with the tip of my finger and I just run it back and forth. Okay, we don't want to scratch a brand new piston, right? Little brake clean just to make sure there's nothing in the port or in the cylinder. Okay, some paper towel. Again, I just like to show you guys the nuts and bolts of porting. I don't know everything. I just know what I know, and I've made all the mistakes that you guys email me about. Believe me, so don't be upset if you make a mistake. It happens. Okay, there's our cleaned port. You can see the edges are broken. Okay, let's slap her back on the bottom end and see what we got. Here's our exhaust port. Notice it opens in the middle and it is symmetrical. I have a little bit to grind on this side. See how it's a little flatter on the left than the right? Keep note of all this stuff. Okay. Again, first ray of light is about right there. Okay. You can see it. 110 after top dead center. Now what I'm going to do, I wiped my mark off in the cylinder, so I'll make a new mark and just continue on. Okay, just jumping back in here. See how I'm sneaking up to my line, like I am literally almost there. I'm probably going to quit while I'm ahead. Okay, you see that little, I don't know, there's probably about 20 thousandths left. I'm just going to sneak up to it a little bit more. This is how you don't go too far. Check often, check your work. And don't raise your exhaust roof too much. I'm raising this quite a bit because I've done, you know, enough saws. I know how far I can go. Don't push your numbers. Maybe raise this one 6 degrees and try that. If you make a mistake, you can correct it if you don't go too far. You guys get what I'm saying? And if you go too far, you might end up with a saw that just has no pull. Okay? Now, I've already started blending. Okay, I'm going to start blending this out while I'm in here right now before I check my timing numbers again. My final blending will actually probably take that little bit of timing we have left off of there. Okay, now when I'm blending, I switch to this egg-shaped bit. If you use these, okay, I like these for my exhaust roof because I get a nice flat grind. But if you use these while you're blending, you'll get hard edges, right? Because you'll end up digging the tip in here and there. You'll get hard edges and it'll just cause you a lot of trouble blending after. So that's what I found works the best. Okay, friends, we are right to the line. Just under it. That's what I want. My final polishing and shaping will take care of any of the rest of that. We are opening nicely in the middle. Nice curvature to the exhaust port. I still have to do some final blending and shaping. I like everything real symmetrical. I use I use the ray of light to actually guide how I want to shape it. This one is pretty bang on, but okay. And we are at 104.5. I'm going to leave it right there. My final polishing will take care of that. Check everything 3 times, and we're going to put a chamfer, and I'm going to polish it. The finish on this is pretty good. Now this is if this was my saw, I wouldn't polish this anymore. This is going to be a production saw, so we're going to make it nice and shiny, keep the carbon from sticking. This thing's going to get run 5, 6, 7 days a week. Okay, I'm going to do my final polish. I usually use these are like 180 grit, 200 grit, and then I just step it up in finer grits as I go to my desired finish. This is the part where you really make your work look professional, make it look good. I enjoy this part. It really brings the whole thing together. Here's our polished exhaust port, nice and smooth, shiny. Feels good to the touch. That's about where I take them. You can go a little further than that if you are so inclined. Notice the shape of that port. It's symmetrical, D-shaped. That's what I went with on this one. Again, you could widen it. You could do all kinds of stuff, guys. What I do is just what I do. You can always try something different. The crickets in here are just unbelievable, friends. There you go. Here you guys go. Here is the finished exhaust port. Can you see the chamfering there? Right where the cylinder, the plating meets the exhaust port, there's that little ledge. That's your chamfer. That eases the rings in and out. That is probably the most important thing when you port, is be aware of that and really take your time. Now I use 600 grit and I shine that up. I want that to be like a mirror. Okay. Now I had full plans of porting this thing on video, but this cylinder is so small you can't see anything. You know what I mean? There's just not enough room to have the tool in there and have a video. So hope this helps you guys out. Here's the other side of the port. Now I still got to clean this out, but see the shape of it? I wanted a nice heavy D. Okay friends, well there's the exhaust port ground. I think I'm going to go in and have some lunch. I hope you guys gained a little bit of knowledge from this. When I come back, we're going to do the transfer ports and do a little bit of shaping to this intake. And then we're done. As always, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later, guys.